So first I'm just going in with this orangey shade and I'm just going to buff that into the crease, just really blowing it out just so it keeps the look very warm. And then I'm just taking this more maroon toned sort of colour and I'm just going to buff that a little bit more precisely into the crease just to add some depth. Then going in with this peachy, pinky, shimmery shade, I'm just going to pack this onto the eyelid and I wasn't really happy with how this came out, so then I went in with this more pinky kind of shade. It's a little bit brighter and I just packed that all over the lid right on top of that other shade we just put down. And then I'm just going back in with that maroon shade and then just buffing it into the crease just to add a little bit of definition and just add back where we lost some. And then I decided to take this purple colour just to add some more dimension to the look, if that makes sense. And then going in with this grey shade, I just wanted to deepen up the crease a little bit further, so yeah, that's what I'm doing here. And I forgot to add a little clip in of this, but basically I'm just applying this Gerard Cosmetics Eternal Liquid Eyeliner. And I'm doing it super slowly, as you guys can see. Then I just went in with this black eyeshadow from the Morphe palette and I just sort of buffed that along the liner just to smoke it out a little bit more. Then just taking these 501 Lotus lashes, these are freaking stunning, I absolutely love them, and I'm just applying those to my eyes, and I'm using the House of Lashes eyelash glue as always. Then just taking the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the Orange Corrector shade, I'm just going to apply this underneath my eyes, and then I'm just taking any old concealer type brush and I'm just going to sort of blend that out a little bit just so it's a little bit easier to cover up when we go to put our foundation over top of it. And I actually used a little bit too much, as I always do, so I recommend only the tiniest amount, otherwise it's too hard to cover up. Then I'm going in with my favourite combination at the moment, which is the Born This Way foundation and the Cover FX Custom Cover Drops. I'll leave shades and everything down below, but basically I just like to mix those as my foundation at the moment, and they are absolutely stunning. And I just use those to cover up that orange concealer. Then going in with my extremely worn out and well loved IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer. This is in the shade Light. And I'm just using that to really conceal the orange that is underneath the eyes, make sure none of it is peeking through whatsoever. And then I'm taking this LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Porcelain, I believe, and I'm just applying that onto the high points of my face, just the areas that I want to bring forward and accentuate. I am then going in with my Real Techniques sponge, and I'm just going to use that to blend everything out. This sponge is a really good dupe for the Beauty Blender. I mean, I haven't actually used the Beauty Blender, but from what I've heard, it's a pretty good dupe. I'm then going in with another LA Girl Pro Concealer. This one is in the shade Almond. I really like this for contouring on my nose, however I don't like using it for the rest of the face. I don't know why I did it here. It was my first time using it and I went a little bit too heavy-handed with it, and as you guys will see later on when I'm trying to blend it out, it was just a little bit too warm, a little bit too like reddish and warm for my face, if that makes sense, and it just wasn't blending out as well as I would like it, and it didn't really match with my skin tone. So if you do have this shade, I definitely recommend it for contouring on your nose. It looks so flawless, and you can't see the nose contour at all. Like, you can see it enough for it to make a difference, but not enough for it to look like muddy and gross. But yeah, for the rest of the face it just wasn't working, and if you do use this colour for the rest of your face, I would just recommend going in with a very small amount because you do not need very much at all. And again, I'm just taking that Real Techniques sponge and just blending everything out. I really like doing this for my nose, but the rest of my face, when I use these LA Girl Pro Concealers, I think I prefer using a brush to blend them out. It just works a bit better. And then, as always, going in with my Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder and just baking underneath the eyes, baking like a little cake. I always do this because I find it's one of the only ways that I can stop my creasing under my eyes. And it really helps to stop my dark circles popping back through. Now just going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit. I'm just going to take this banana shade and I'm just applying that underneath the eyes just to stop everything from being so stark white. I do want that brightness still there, but I want it to blend in a little bit more seamlessly, if that makes sense. Now for the lower lash line, just going back in with that maroon shade, and I'm just buffing that right along the lash line itself. And then I'm just going back in with that orange shade that we used in the crease, and I'm just going to buff that pretty roughly along the lash line just to make sure everything is blown out. And then I am taking this shimmery sort of shade and some Fix Plus, and I'm just going to pack that onto the inner corners of the eyes. I forgot to add a little clip of this as always because I am hopeless, but this is the Benefit They're Real mascara, and I'm just applying that to my bottom lashes to make them super long. Then going back in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit, and I'm taking the shades Havana and Fawn, I believe, and I'm just going to use those to contour and warm up on my face, pretty much just to set those contoured areas that we did with the cream contouring. Then just taking this Colourpop highlighter in the shade Lunch Money, and I'm just applying that to the high points of my face. I'm really sorry that all of these clips are pretty out of focus, guys. I'm absolutely terrible. I don't have the camera that autofocuses, so I have to do it myself. And I wear contact lenses and glasses, but I don't wear either of those when I film, so I'm pretty much just going in blind every time I do it. I promise I'll improve. Then just going in with So Hollywood by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I'm just applying this over top of that Lunch Money highlighter. I like to do this because I feel like it really grabs and stays on my face, and as we know, I love an intense highlight. Then just going in with this NYX Nude Pink Lip Liner, I'm just overlining my lips with that, as I always do. Then just going in with Serenity by Gerard Cosmetics, I am just applying that all over my lips. Oh my god, I am obsessed with this shade, you guys. This is one that was made in collaboration with Manny MUA. I feel like I always mention that, but I'm just so proud of him, and they just did an amazing job on this one. Definitely check out my coupon codes down below because the Hydra Mattes are definitely something that you guys need to check out. They are so worth the money. And that is it for this blush pink tutorial. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time.